Hi guys, it's Siobhan from Decade and Beyond. Welcome back. Today I want to do a reading for the Divine Feminine because it's been a little while since I've done one. Um, so we're just going to get some general guidance and see what's going on in the energy. I've been going through a lot of big shifts myself, a lot of movement, a lot of releasing, a lot of shift. Yeah, just a lot of shifting. So we'll start out with the Crystal Oracle. The Crystal Mandala Oracle by Alana Fairchild. So we'll get a couple of those for the Divine Feminine. We got Spirit of the Guru Mother and Sacred Revolution. Ooh. Okay, we'll do that for now. So Spirit of the Guru Mother speaks about being very precise and knowing what you want. The Spirit is, you've got this passion, you've got this action, and you know exactly where it's going to go. And then you just put all of your energy into throwing it and directing it. And you know it's going to hit home. You know it's going to hit that target. So I'll show you guys. Goddess Durga and Hematite. And Hematite is a very grounding, very, very grounding stone. It's also magnetic. So it's charged with that, the energy of the poles, it's just reminding me in my head, it's reminding me of the twin flames, like that magnetic energy that the twin flames have is similar to how hematite is so magnetic and very grounding. So 5 and 2 makes 7. 7 is a number of spiritual growth and spiritual enlightenment. It's also a number of luck and moving forward on your path, and it's a confirmation that you're on the right spiritual path and to continue with your enlightenment process and your learning and growth. I'm going to face them this way so you guys can sort of see. And then the Sacred Revolution, Goddess Kali and Black Obsidian. So we got another very grounding stone, Black Obsidian. The Sacred Revolution is exactly what's going on right now. We're going through this revolution of awakening. We're going through this revolution of spiritual ascension, and that's sacred, and that's why this is coming up. And the 6 and the 4 make a 10, which is ultimately a 1, and the 1 is that new beginning, and it's with the zero energy for me is the alpha, the omega, God, the unity consciousness. And so we're beginning anew with this unity consciousness that's awakening within us all, one by one. And those of us in the spiritual community as a whole, as you've seen in the past couple of years, our community is growing, and it's growing exponentially, quite rapidly. And it's going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to grow until most of the world has awakened. And this is the sacred revolution that we're going through now. And on an individual level, the sacred revolution is awakening to the awareness that we are creator beings, that we are on this twin flame journey for a reason, and that we are on this earth for a reason, that we're here to do something with our spiritual purpose and our spiritual abilities. And that's a recurring theme that keeps coming up for the divine feminine, especially because the divine masculine is still working on things within themselves, but the divine feminine has gotten through that, and now we're moving into our purpose and our mission. So I'm going to get a Whispers of Nature, I believe this is called. I'll leave all the names of the decks down below for you guys with the creators of them. Okay, nope, I'm going to keep shuffling. Ideal course of action. Okay, so let's see what the ideal course of action is. I'm going to use my Fairy Tarot by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. Okay, so we got a 4 and a 5. We got the 4 of winter and the 5 of summer, which is funny because winter and summer are complete opposites. And we've got set aside your concerns for now. You can make a decision later. Solutions that come from meditation, the need for more sleep or a vacation. And then the 5 of summer is trust that there's a reason for everything that happens. Remove yourself from the negative emotions of others, focusing on that which frightens or worries you. Yeah, okay, I see. So the ideal course of action at this time, at this particular time, in this now, is to move away from everything in the physical world that's causing us to have anxiety or fear or stress. Stress, especially, I'm feeling that one coming up like with an emphasis on it in my mind. The spirit's like, stress, like stop stressing out. And the solution to that right now, the ideal course of action is to rest, to meditate, to go within, to set aside time for yourself, to really step into who you are as a God being, as a goddess, as your divine feminine. So not to be like Shvan, for myself as an example, okay, not to be Siobhan, but to sit there and be my higher self, my God self, which doesn't have a name. If it did have a name, I did ask her once, and I got an answer, but that's the naming of something is the compartmentalization of something, which is the separation of something. So the higher selves of it doesn't have a name because it's just pure consciousness. It's just pure God consciousness. So this is saying, anyway, it's saying, set aside some time to meditate, because right now we're kind of I'm feeling like there's a lot of inner work going on for both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And even though the divine feminine has done a lot of inner work, it's a never-ending cycle. It's not linear. It's going to continue to come around and around and around. So everything that you thought that you mastered, you're going to come around again to it and see that you can master it even more. And there's still things to learn, and there's still things to release, and there's still things to grow from. And so each time as we go through this cycle, it's important that we rest and that we get enough sleep, and that we're taking care of our bodies, we're taking care of our minds, and we're taking care of our souls. So if to you that means going and getting going to the gym, great. If that to you means eating healthy and getting enough sleep, great. If that means going on vacation, do it. If that means just taking a few days off work to do nothing and watch Netflix all weekend, great, do it. If that means meditating, giving yourself even a 10-minute meditation every day is enough to get you to that place where you need to be. That'll make the rest of your life a lot easier and the rest of your day a lot easier. But if you set aside an hour, that's fantastic too. Whatever you feel called to do, whatever you feel will best serve you in this moment, to be able to move forward with more confidence, more assured in who you are, and more connected to the source, more connected to the angels and the guides and your higher self, then that's what's the ideal course of action right now. Because this worry and this stress and the negative emotions, they're there for a reason. They're there to alert us to what is going on that needs to be transmuted, what is going on that needs to be released, what is going on that needs to be worked through and moved forward from. And ultimately, anything negative that's coming up, it's to help you grow. Because the strongest people aren't strong because everything went well for them. The strongest people are those that had difficult and challenging times but handled it. They handled it with ease and grace, and that ease and grace comes from connecting to source and trusting in the divine, that all of this is for a reason, and that everything is planned out, and that we do have free will, yes, but that our free will is God's will as well, because we are God. So trusting in that will and trusting in the series of events, the chain reaction that takes place and unfolds in your life and the lives of those around you, to really step into a higher perspective of knowing, a higher perspective of what this is all about, what we're here to do, what we're learning, and how we can help to teach. Because ultimately we're learning to be able to teach, because we're all moving through this together. So we'll get, let's see what's going on with our romantic life. What does the divine feminine need to know right now from the romance angels? Is there anything in our love lives? This one needs to come out. Chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. That's funny because we got the hematite, which is like that magnetic stone. So yeah, don't worry so much about the connection with your twin flame. Don't worry about what the divine masculine's up to, because it's a magnetic attraction. And that cord of attraction, that cord of magnetism can't be broken, because you're one soul. So you will come back into union. You will come back into that pull. You will eventually feel the pull if you're not already feeling it. And so will he. And that will move you two together eventually. But right now there's still inner work to be done. There's still, because they're saying, they're saying go in and rest and meditate. And they're saying that there's this huge revolution going on right now. And it's almost like we're charging up our sphere. I'm feeling like it's almost like a magic wand, and we're charging it up and we're charging it up, and it's not quite time to throw it yet, but we're almost like we're like cocking our arm back, and we're really powering up our muscles, and then we're going to be able to let loose and really just fly and hit the target right on the bullseye. That's what I'm feeling from this. And that's gonna it's tasking us with learning from and integrating all of the negative things that we've been through in the past, and not just this lifetime, but all of the past lifetimes as well. And that's why if you feel called to go and get a Reiki session, I highly, highly recommend it, because I don't know if you've watched my video from yesterday, but I went and got one with my Reiki master teacher, Judy here in Ottawa, Ontario, and she is the best in Ottawa, in my opinion. I think she's ranked in the top 3, but she's highly clairvoyant. She's highly psychic. She's very intuitive, and she's very tuned in to the messages of what's going on in your energy field and what's going on with your angels and guides. So she can help you work through past life trauma and past life issues that need to be reintegrated, because what happens with trauma is that your soul will literally step out of your body for a moment. That's why the people who go through traumatic experiences have these out-of-body experiences, is because it's too traumatizing, and so your soul will kind of step back and say, I'm just going to distance myself from the avatar for a moment because this is too much to handle. But what happens is that when that takes place, soul fragments are created, and a little piece of your soul is left behind in that traumatic event. And so what you can do is that everything happens for a reason. This is all for learning purposes. So what you can do is you can go through either hypnotherapy, see a medium or a psychic, or go for Reiki, a Reiki energy healing session. Some sound healing would be beneficial, and color therapy is great too. And you can reintegrate lost fragments of your soul that were broken off in traumatic moments of your life or past life. And once you reintegrate them, you come back into wholeness. And this whole twin flame journey is about wholeness. So we have to reintegrate our wholeness to be able to make this magnetic connection stronger, because it's always going to be there, but we can ramp it up by becoming whole within ourselves. So imagine, it's almost like two magnets that, like, they're both really dirty, and it's like, it's not going to work like this in the real world, but this is just hypothetically. Two dirty magnets. It's like the dirt is interfering with the attraction, with the magnetism. So the more that you clean off the magnets, the more that they're going to be like really, really attracted to each other and really pulled together. So we're both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. We're cleaning ourselves off energetically. We're healing past stuff. We're making ourselves whole through self-love and connection to the divine source of love, which is God, or whatever you want to call it, infinite creator, being, anything. It's non-denominational. It's love. That's what it is. It's pure, pure, unconditional love. And so once we come back into that chemistry of love, we activate that magnetism so much stronger. So let's get an... Oh, okay, that was fast. Thankful. This is the Unicorn deck by Doreen Virtue. Think about the people and things you feel grateful for. So an attitude of gratitude is the best magnetic attraction for abundance and the law of attraction. So being thankful for something and really feeling that energy, that's what's going to attract what you want into your life, whether that be your ideal career, your ideal partner, your ideal home, car, job, anything. The book that you want to read, you're gonna attract that into your life. Whatever it is, if you're thankful, you're going to attract that. And the best part is that when you're thankful, you feel like you already have enough. So you're thankful for everything that you have. You feel like you don't need any more, but then it comes to you anyway. So it's like that paradox again, because everything is paradoxical. So we'll get a crystal wisdom healing oracle. And this one's by Judy Hall. Oh, that top one wants to come out. Flint. Okay, so we've had Flint before. And Flint is another grounding stone. So we're getting a lot of grounding stones. So the Divine Feminine right now, we may need to physically ground our energy into Mother Earth. We're being asked to really get grounded. Because as feminines, we're so sensitive and we're so, for me anyway, I'm very airy-fairy. And I'm all, like my chart, my natal chart is all water and air. I have barely any earth and hardly any fire at all. And so I have a tendency to get really sort of up in the ethers. And that can sort of, I mean, it can be fun, you know, it can be nice because I'm very dreamy and I'm, you know, always in that lighthearted sort of dreamland, but it's not practical when you're trying to get shit done in the real world. And so we're trying to tie these two things together. We're trying to anchor our dreamy, fantasy, sensitive, expressive goddess self into the physical realm. And so we need all of these grounding stones to help us do it. And let's see and it's number 2, which is about union, which is about keeping the faith, which is about being the master builder in your life. So you're literally creating and you're seeing that creation take form. Okay, so Flint is portal power. Flint stabilizes energy and cuts through to the core of issues, clearing blockages and loosening ties. It opens portals to other worlds and hidden aspects of yourself. You are a person with profound inner depths. You do not be afraid to explore this hidden side. It contains treasure beyond knowing. Together with attitudinal karma and repressed emotions affecting well-being, Flint connects you to your ancestors. A natural traveler, you know how to negotiate the shamanic world to obtain healing insights. Strengthen your boundaries. Cut through confusion to the core of the matter. Soul retrieval is necessary. Like, this is exactly what I was just talking about. Soul retrieval. If you left any part of yourself in another life or an abusive childhood experience, an unwelcomed visitor from the past can be left behind, but recognize lessons before you move on. Yeah, so like everything happens for a reason. We're recognizing that all of this happened so that we could grow stronger, so that we could learn these things and become masters, because number 2 is a master number. Sorry, you can't see that. There we go. Number 2 is a master number, and that it's literally the master builder. So we're building off of all of these things that have happened to us, and they've happened for very divinely guided reasons, and this everything is divinely guided, and we've helped orchestrate this in our own with our own soul contracts. You know, we don't just get assigned something to go and do. We choose. We get to co-create with the creator, because we are creator beings as well. So as part of the creator. So we get to choose what contract I would like to live out in this lifetime, what I'd like to do, how I'm going to do it, what it's going to do to help others, or what I'm going to learn from it through the process. So it says the healing insight for Flint is to pay attention to energetic boundaries and core strength. Cutting detrimental ties and strengthening your connection to the planet maintains well-being. Yeah, so it's strengthening our connection to the planet will help us ground this energy into the physical. And I was reading a thing this just before I started this video, and it was saying that a lot of the time when people first awaken, they think that they need to go out of body. They think that the only way to access like that higher consciousness is to enter into that non-physical realm. But apparently, and this is what we're all learning at this time, because we're all, you know, first wavers, we're all doing this together, kind of figuring it out as we go. It's not about leaving the body. And that's what I thought too. I thought, you know, I need to astral project. I need to get into lucid dreaming. I need to do all of these things that are going to help my consciousness to become more expanded. But that's not actually the case. That's part of it, yes, but what's going to actually be beneficial to ourselves and the whole world is to draw that energy within us, to fill ourselves up with the consciousness of God, with that Christ consciousness, that God consciousness, to fill ourselves up with that and anchor it into the physical realm, and then go about our lives as gods, not just, for 10 minutes in meditation, oh, I'm God, and then you go back to the 3D reality. That's in the beginning, yes, those are the beginning stages. But eventually we're going to get to the point where we constantly are aware of our God self, and we are that. I am that I am. God lives in me as me. And so we're going to walk through our lives being aware of what's going on and being connected to our higher selves and being connected to our intuition. And that's starting to happen. And that energy can be very overwhelming because it's so high vibrational. And so we're being asked to lower it in a sense, but not really lower it, because you're taking this high vibrational energy and you're just grounding it into the physical. You're not taking the high vibrational energy in and then allowing it to dissipate because you need it to be less so that you can function. It's about finding that balance. This is all about finding the balance and being able to bring in that energy and ground it down into the earth and into our physical body, and allowing it to guide us through our everyday lives. So I want to get just one more. So the 8 of Spring is stress that comes from having many things happening at once, successful multitasking, and sudden events or changes. So I feel like there's a lot going on right now, and eights are about abundance, and 8s are about infinity and going through the karmic cycles. So we're going through karmic cycles. If you're feeling stressed out, it's asking, like the 4 of Winter is asking you to meditate, take a vacation, rest, treat your body with love, treat yourself with self-love, and connect to source, connect to that loving, unconditional energy that we all have. We can tap into, and it feeds us. We don't have to starve down here on our own. We have that infinite flow that we are connected to. It's just, you have to consciously connect to it. It's always there. So it's saying, though these things may seem stressful, if you go about it with God consciousness, you will be able to successfully multitask. And you will be able to get through these sudden events and changes with more ease and more grace of that higher consciousness, because you're not seeing it from the perspective that you're in right now. You're seeing it from the higher perspective, and you're seeing it almost simultaneously. You're seeing it as you are as this person, but you're also seeing it from that God consciousness. So you're experiencing it from 2 different angles, and those 2 different angles allow you to put those puzzle pieces together to be able to understand things from a deeper level and be able to move through these karmic lessons or healings or stressful events and changes with a flowing ability to accept things as they are and be thankful for everything that happens, good or bad, being thankful for it because it's helping you to grow and get better, faster, stronger, smarter, wiser, kinder, more compassionate, more loving, and more connected to God. And so we're taking that spear, we're pulling it back, we're getting ready, we're training, we're getting better. And this is a recurring theme in a lot of the readings for the Divine Feminine. We're training, we're getting better, we're coming into our mastery. 2011, that's funny. 2018 is an 11 year, which is about mastery. So this is a master year. We're coming into being the master builder. We're grounding that into the physical, and we're going to be able to embody that master ability. We're going to be the Christ consciousness. We're going to be the Buddha. We're going to be Abraham. We're going to be our true selves, our higher selves, that self which does not have a name. I am that I am. Okay, so yes, I'm going to wrap it up with that. Ladies, I love ya. And if it's a man with divine feminine energy, you go, girl. Love you guys. Bye.